nós enviamos 2 dos nossos membros para filmar resgate de escravos no Paquistão, em meio a metralhadoras de muçulmanos e mercenários. Nessa missão, nós corremos um grave risco de perder nossos irmãos assassinados em território estrangeiro. Agora, imagine se esse tipo de problema começa a aumentar no Brasil. É algo tão surreal que vocês só vão acreditar, porque nós filmamos tudo para contar essa história no filme que agora vocês vão assistir, ainda que seja um. Toda essa operação na Ásia nos custou milhares e milhares de reais. Qualquer outro grupo pensaria em cobrar por esse filme, mas nós acreditamos piamente que a verdade não pode encontrar obstáculos para ser difundida. E é por isso que estamos disponibilizando a todos vocês. Em troca, o que nós pedimos é que se torne membro patrocinador em membros.centrodombosco.org, porque é pela ajuda de vocês que nós conseguimos produzir filmes como esse e muito mais. Bom filme a todos e que viva Cristo Rei!
Okay, Tajo, camera to laan ke. Okay, go put the camera there. Go.
Então, essa história de ir para o Paquistão, ela começa mais ou menos assim. O Pitinali, ele é um dos diretores, né, que trabalha no Centro Dom Bosco, e ele veio com esse projeto sobre o resgate de escravos, né, no Paquistão.
Ahí fue que empecé a trabajar en esta idea y se la presenté al vicepresidente del Centro Don Bosco, a Bruno, y bueno, Bruno enseguida no podía creer, se sintió muy asombrado, ¿no?, de esto. Rápidamente me dijo, bueno, vamos a organizar, vamos a ver si es posible hacerlo.
E aí quando você toma a decisão de que vou fazer alguma coisa, vou fazer um filme sobre isso, vou fazer parte disso, é uma decisão completa, não pode ser uma decisão meio a meio. Então eu vou até o fim para fazer esse negócio acontecer.
Y después, bueno, obviamente yo tenía que hablar con mi mujer. Antes que le pregunte, ella me decía, ni se te ocurra ni siquiera nombrarme el nombre de ese país, nada.
Tanto eu quanto o Luiz, a gente tem família, né? O Luiz, ele tem uma família muito grande e eu, né, tenho uma filha pequena e...
En ese momento tuve que hablar con mi mujer seriamente, le dije, necesito ir a este lugar, no puedo ir Luis solo, digamos, obviamente que le costó, pero me dijo que sí.
A gente saiu, né, do Brasil, decolamos ali, né, para o Paquistão.
Well, we've reported many times on how ISIS rapes and sells girls into slavery, and now the terror group is calling rape of non-Muslim and Islamic religious practice.
La milla cuenta que durante 19 meses fue una esclava sexual y fue vendida varias veces. Su historia es la de miles de mujeres y niñas secuestradas por el grupo Estado Islámico.
Catholic woman sentenced to death in Pakistan.
Asia Bibi, Catholic and mother of 5.
Asia Bibi had been found guilty of blasphemy.
Strict blasphemy laws in Pakistan are often used to harass religious minorities. Hardline Muslims have taken to the streets and protest, chanting slogans like "Hang Asia Bibi."
محدش يستعبد البشرية قدنا، محدش يغتصب بشر قدنا وبشرع الله، بشرع الله.
Y bueno, fue un viaje muy largo. Cuando llegamos a Pakistán, las cosas que primero me llamaron la atención fue el intenso calor, ¿no?
Relatives of a slain Christian couple are reeling from the pair's violent death. The husband and his pregnant wife burned to death Tuesday by a mob for allegedly desecrating a copy of the Quran. Desecration of the Quran is punishable by death.
Allegations that 2 Christian men had reportedly desecrated pages of the Quran, the Muslims' holy book, triggered the rampage involving hundreds of Muslims. Residents of Jarawala's Christian colony lost in minutes what they spent years gathering.
Enseguida entramos, ¿no? Recuerdo que vino un hombre desconocido, totalmente desconocido, y me dice, sí, las maletas. No, o sea, ¿quién sos, no? Y bueno, se ve que era alguien que había sido enviado por Joseph y que él nos iba a ayudar con las maletas.
Human rights groups have long urged Pakistan to repeal the law, arguing that it has often been used to settle personal vendettas.
We urge bring resolution and continue dialogue with Pakistani government so that they seriously take action against these atrocities and misuse of blasphemy.
Logo de cara, assim, você já tem um impacto muito grande. É um país que é completamente diferente, uma cultura muito diferente. As pessoas se comportam de maneira diferente, elas se vestem de maneira completamente diferente.
Punjab's slain governor, a vocal critic of the law, was gunned down last week by his own security guard over his stand on the issue. Not least because his murderer has been widely praised for his actions. His vocal reaction in favor of his death is a game changer in Pakistan.
Should not share everything while we are here.
Okay.
But just
Just visit.
Just a visit. But you can ask question. Yes. And we can also ask him if there is any case that he can help us to rescue. Yes. Yeah.
We can talk about the rescue.
Huh?
We can talk about the rescue.
I mean rescue. If there is anything that we can rescue, make a documentary.
Bueno, entonces ahí, digamos, nos encontramos con Joseph, conocimos personalmente a Joseph porque ya veníamos hablando bastante con él, porque él nos estaba explicando qué necesitábamos.
E a gente chegou no dia que era uma comemoração do dia da independência do Paquistão. Então, vindo do aeroporto até a casa onde a gente ia ficar, e você via várias pessoas andando na rua, comemorando, várias bandeiras do Paquistão, né, espalhadas pela rua, né, as pessoas estavam realmente comemorando esse dia da independência ali, e fomos para essa casa, que era a casa que o Joseph conseguiu para a gente ficar.
Cuando el chofer estaciona el auto, digamos, en el lugar, enseguida abre la puerta a alguien con un fusil, entonces como que también uno empezaba a caer en cuenta, digamos, en qué lugar está, ¿no? Porque por una cuestión de seguridad, digamos, que en esa casa era donde íbamos a convivir todos, ¿no? El equipo, digamos, de rescate y nosotros, ¿no? El equipo de filmación.
Fomos super bem recebidos ali pelo Joseph, pela família dele. E logo que a gente chegou, a gente já sentou para conversar com o Joseph, conversar com a esposa dele, e eles começaram a explicar pra gente toda a situação ali do país, a situação do Paquistão.
My name is Joseph Johnson. I'm a Catholic
Pakistani Christian born in 1986 in a very small village of Punjab near Miachano. I'm married as I was living in Europe, so I'm married with the Dutch girl, Miriam.
So today we had a demonstration in front of the European Parliament right there. And we raised the concerns regarding child abduction, child forced conversion and child marriage, as well as the misuse of the blasphemy laws and different issues of Christian persecution in Pakistan.
Thank you for the opportunity and to be the voice of persecuted Christian in Pakistan and to address the many forms of persecution they face. Today we are here at the European Parliament. We have arranged a very important, crucial event together with the European parliamentarians and Open Door.
We want justice! We want justice! We want! So, our relationship evolved and we eventually got married and we had children. But my job remained. I help persecuted Christians, and Joseph is very passionate about the topic, having experienced a lot in Pakistan himself as a Christian and with his sister and a lot of his family members.
Of a Christian woman in Pakistan sentenced to death under the country's stringent blasphemy laws. A Christian charity and other legal advocates say that they will appeal the conviction. Former nurse Shagufta Kiran, a mother of 4, she is accused of sharing comments on social media that were disrespectful of the Prophet Muhammad. Her lawyers say the Christian woman did not write the content that was later shared in a group called Pure Discussions.
In 2013, my direct sister was accused of blasphemy, falsely accused of blasphemy. Her husband, who is paralyzed at that time, and some of the clerics, Islamic clerics, accused them that they have sent some blasphemous text message insulting Islam or respected Prophet Muhammad.
So actually in Pakistan, Christians are very much oppressed. It's very clear to me. They are not having the same social status, the same standing in society as the Muslims. You can say they're second-class citizens.
सबसे पहले तो वो मेरी मामा को अरेस्ट करके ले गए हैं। उसके बाद मेरे पापा को और हम सबको ले गए और उन्होंने कहा कि ये जुर्म आप कबूल करें। उन्हें नीचा हिस्सा तो उनका पैरालाइज था, तो उन्हें वहाँ पर तो चोट नहीं लगती थी। उन्होंने मुंह पर मारा, काफ़ी गन्स से उन्होंने जो बट होते हैं वो कमर में, ज़बरदस्ती कहा कि हम आपकी जो उनसी बीवी है उसके ऊपर उनका गलत इस्तेमाल करेंगे। मामा भी रो रहे थे, हम भी रो रहे थे, पर उन्होंने कहा कि ठीक है, आप जो लिखना है लिख लें, ये मेरी बीवी से बढ़कर मेरे लिए कुछ भी नहीं है। सामने मेरे पापा को उन्होंने बहुत ज़्यादा मारा। काफ़ी 10-15 पुलिस वाले थे जो उनके इर्द गिर्द खड़े थे।
They were arrested and they were almost, they spent 8 years in prison, sentenced to death. But at the time of their arrest, they were beaten, they were tortured. My brother-in-law was tortured at the police stations and beaten at the police station. So I was at that time living in Karachi, working with some companies and having normal life in Karachi. But police called me at one point, and then police, rather than when they called me, police started interrogating me also for the crime they have not committed and I have not committed anything.
And this is, I think, the basis of a lot of problems, because there's no justice either. If Christian is suffering, if somebody stole something from the Christian, but the Muslim might have been the perpetrator, most likely the Muslim will get away with it, because the Christian doesn't have the same protection as the Muslim does.
I called the lawyer. I said, hey, my sister is in trouble. She has been falsely accused for this, and we need help. He heard the story. He said, actually, Joseph, this is so dangerous in Pakistan. that if somebody is simply accused for blasphemy, I as a lawyer, if I get involved, maybe will be killed or face the same treatment as accused. I could not stop myself without helping her, so I had to do something. My sister is in prison. I had to do something.
She said, I spent 8 years on death row in an isolation cell, and I was falsely accused of blasphemy charges. And I want to forgive the government of Pakistan and those who falsely accused me for blasphemy. I want to forgive them. But I want justice. I want justice for those who remain in prisons of Pakistan under blasphemy laws.
And I came to European Parliament to raise the voice, to seek help for my sister's release, who was in the prison in Pakistan facing death sentence. Anytime she could be hanged.
Yeah, so actually we are here now with Shagufta Kaushar, and we've been in prison visiting her while she was still in jail in Pakistan. And I remember I was with her kids, and the kids were crying. They were asking us, please help release our mother. Help release our father, who is also in jail. And I remember visiting Shagufta and realizing, seeing the pain on her face, suffering for years in prison, not being able to see her children. And situations like that, moments like that, you realize this is why I do my job. This is why I'm standing here at the United Nations or the European Union, trying to knock on every door there is with my reports about Christians who are suffering. Brothers and sisters in Christ who are suffering.
That's where I met Miriam Boss at the European Parliament to talk about, because she's working for human rights. She's a lawyer, advocating, lobbying at the European Union at that time.
He shared his story about his sister, and I listened and I tried to see what I could do, because as my job was helping persecuted Christians.
I played a crucial role in the release of my sister and my brother-in-law. So these are Sharia law. According to the Sharia, a person who, for example, say anything against Prophet Muhammad will be charged for lifetime imprisonment. And also if you, for example, say anything disrespect or defame Prophet Muhammad, you will be charged, sentenced to death by hanging. So that is Sharia law. Actually, many people were calling me, go here, we have a list of Brickhill, maybe we can take you here. But I decided to go myself and make some research myself and find what we can do. This was the first place where I went. I want to show you this. Yes. See, this is Brickhill. This is exactly very near to the border, Pakistan and India. This is the flag of Pakistan. So this is the Brickhill where I went. I used a trick, and the trick was just to go there and ask using any name. So we were entering to the Brickhill, and one man was coming out of the Brickhill factory. And I asked him, is the Christian person living here? The guy said, yes, I'm Christian. And this poor guy, he has 4 daughters, beautiful daughters, very shining daughters. They had to go through the trauma when these criminals came, took him, made him chained, took his motorbike, destroyed his general superstore, the grocery store, and then took everything valuable that he had in the superstore. And these people are monsters. They don't care when the child is 7-year-old, 9-year-old. One of the daughter is 10 years old. These people are even afraid if they are sick to go out of the factory to go to any hospital or anywhere. I was there, old parents were crying, mother was crying, his sister was crying, and they were begging the help. If the family can silently escape in a secret way, in a hidden way, in a different way. So we engage here, for example, it's the office, if we engage our rescue team here with the office, maybe family can, for example, one of the information, if can hiddenly, family by family or his family one by one can come to the main road. Okay, go put the camera there. Go. Yeah, this man is here.
Who is this man?
This is Asghar. Asghar. ਤੇ ਗੱਡੀ 'ਚ ਬਾਬਾ ਉਹ ਹੁਣ ਉਠਾਣਾ ਪਏਗਾ ਵੈਸੇ ਹੁਣ ਜਾਣ ਲਈ ਤਿਆਰ ਜੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਚਲੋ ਓਕੇ
Pero lo que sucedió es que cuando nosotros llegamos ahí, por lo menos yo me imaginaba que iba a haber un equipo de rescate, ¿no? Que iba a haber un equipo dedicado a los rescates.
चले ना चाहिए They are saying there are 4 security guards at the gate. 4 people sitting at the gate, securities with guns. So if we take the family, they might will attack us or stop us.
ਇਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਸਾਡਾ ਨਿਕਲਣਾ ਬੰਦ ਹੈ ਖੈਰ ਕੋਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਾ ਸਕਦੇ
They are saying this time we are actually not supposed to go. They will not let us go. Not even till the stop line. You know, near the signal. They will not allow them to go out of the bricks. This is what he's saying. Kari thoda karza kinna hai? 350,000. Maybe 1,000 euro or 1,200 euro. Keh rahe si hun ki ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਬਿੱਲ ਦੇ ਸਕਨੇ ਤੇ ਕਿ ਹੁਣ ਬੰਦੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਉਹ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੈਸੇ ਦੇ ਸਕਨੇ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਫਿਰ ਜਾ ਸਕਨੇ ਪੈਸੇ ਦੇ ਕੇ
ਪੈਸੇ ਦੇ ਕੇ ਜਾ ਸਕਦੇ
Yes, he's saying we pay the bill and we can go. ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਪੇ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਪੇ ਕਰ ਯੈਸ ਓਕੇ ਸ਼ੈਲ ਵੀ ਗੋ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਕੀ ਹਾਲ अस्सलाम वालेकुम
Eu me lembro assim que o Joseph saiu na frente, foi até lá, foi até uma pequena casa que fica na entrada da fábrica de tijolos ali. Ficamos eu e o Luiz aqui parados esperando, porque como somos estrangeiros, né, a gente chamaria muita atenção. Então eles acharam melhor a gente ficar, esperar.
Go there, if it's safe, we come for us. Okay.
Nosotros mismos tuvimos que trabajar no solo en la filmación de este documental, no solo en la filmación de esta misión, sino también que en un momento la cámara giró y nos empezó a enfocar a nosotros. Y nosotros empezamos a ser partícipes de esos rescates.
Is safe? Is safe?
Yeah, yeah.
We can go?
No.
No. I think we shouldn't be passing.
E de repente, um dos homens da nossa equipe vira pra cá e diz: chama o Luiz. E aí, caramba, sou eu que tenho que ir lá.
चलो यार खुदा रहम करे
25,000 120 रुपये 50,000
टोटल करो टोटल यार कोई इन्होंने रैत भी मिल जाएगी ऐ ते असीं चैरिटी करनी कोई जिहड़ी असीं इन्हां दी चैरिटी करनी कोई रैत कर सकदे जी मालक
मालक मुश्किल जी बात है
अच्छा ਤੇ ਉਹ ਹੋਰ ਕਿਹੜਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਇੱਥੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਵਾਲਾ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ
जितने भी सारे लोग कर्जे वाला रजिस्टर
ਇੱਥੇ अच्छा
मेरे पास जेड़ा रजिस्टर
De golpe nos encontramos en una situación que estamos todos rodeados de gente que no sabíamos quiénes eran. O sea, yo no sabía si eran esclavos, si eran gente de seguridad. ¿Quiénes eran? Todos nos miraban, nos observaban, no entendían nada.
फिर पैसे हैं अच्छा हमारे पास जो पैसे हैं वो बाहर की करेंसी है यूरोस यूरो है यूरो ये अख्तर मसीह के असगर मसीह ना है
बालक का नाम लिखना या असगर का नाम लिखना
असगर का नाम है
बालक का नाम
ओके
बात तो
एक ही हाँ दोवां दा लिखो ना असगर 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 दा लिखो ना क्योंकि असगर थले फ्री भी लिख दो जावे कि आज़ाद कर देता है थले लिख दो कि हुण ये बंदा आज़ाद है
आज़ाद तो फिर रखने जो पैसे मुकम्मल दिते जाने
हुण किन्ने रह गए ने
ये तकरीबन 1 लाख 17,000 रुपया
He's saying that I can make free when the payment is completed. I cannot. No.
A dívida era quase em torno de uns $1.000. Conversou com o contador, mas esse dinheiro não é suficiente. Os donos da fábrica, os meus patrões vão ficar bravos, eles não vão aceitar isso. E aí agora...
जल्दी हो गया थोड़ा और लेट आ भी सकते हैं 12 बजे ठीक हाँ जी कुछ हाँ जी वो गोरे ने गल करनी सी मेरे की करनी मेरा भी हाँ
Ellos tenían sus libros donde colocaban todas las deudas de cada una de las familias que estaban como esclavos, porque eran esclavos de deuda. Ellos debían dinero y cada dinero que iban recibiendo como préstamo se iba sumando a ese libro de esclavos.
नहीं हुण साढ़े नाल जाना पेगा ना मसला है
चलो
हैं क्या रहे जी
असगर होनी ते मैं फिर तो चल मैं नाल
हाँ बच्चों के नाल हाँ ठीक है गड्डी च वैन च बैठो फिर जल्दी जल्दी
Então o plano não foi tão perfeito assim, não saiu como a gente tinha planejado, simplesmente resgatar a família sem pagar a dívida, né? Mas ao mesmo tempo a gente viu que isso abriu uma porta grande, que era agora a gente pode pagar a dívida dessas famílias e tentar resgatar todo mundo.
और कोई बच्चा
नहीं
No fim, o que aconteceu foi que um senhor de idade, que é o avô dessa família que a gente estava resgatando, ele disse: olha, então eu fico para trás, espero vocês trazerem o restante do dinheiro.
I take a break.
Oh, wait.
Así que bueno, ese fue el primer rescate, fue impresionante ver la cara de esas personas, la mirada, porque ellos no sabían cómo transmitirte la alegría que significaba ser libres.
कर रहे हैं क्या इस तरह तेरा को कर्जा अचानक बंदा देना आ जाएगा? No, he was not. They saying that the God and Hail Mary sent somebody. Yes, thanks Lord. And the Pope Francis sent us. Kह रहे Pope ने सानू भेजा Pope.
Então foi decidido isso, a gente conversou ali com o contador e a gente pagou uma parte da dívida e a gente marcou de voltar no dia seguinte. Só que existe uma outra situação agora, que é a gente voltaria no dia seguinte e para conhecer os donos da fábrica. Né? São essas pessoas que escravizaram todas essas famílias, né?
Pero bueno, al otro día teníamos que volver al mismo lugar con todo lo que implicaba, ¿no? Porque ahí sí nos íbamos a encontrar con el dueño de esta fábrica, que era el llamado monstruo. Monstruo por las cosas que hacía, por el maltrato que tenía con las personas de ahí. Llegamos de día y nos recibió este hombre.
So second day when we came to the brick kiln with people that we have spoken, saying that you know he was not happy at all. He's very angry at his staff. How come these people can come in? Who brought them? How they come enter? How they could go in? How they meet these people? How they received information that there are Christian slaves working as slaves?
Y le faltan 2 euros 600 lakhs. 600 lakhs.
Thank you for your help.
Okay. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, it was, we saw like evil, you know, evil life, evil, face to face. We are facing evil face to face, a monster face to face, to free people from that circumstances. So imagine we went to the brick kiln and we came across a man who has been enslaved for 45 years, 4 generations. His father was slave, he himself was slave, his father died as a slave in the brick kiln. Oh, this man is saying, put me in somewhere, take me out. Take me to anywhere in the world, in Pakistan. Please make me free from here. So I am ready to go. His children are slaves. His children's children are born at the brick kiln are slave. He came to us and he said, Joseph, can you help me to take out of the slavery? Can you make me free? I said, okay, if I make you free. He said, please take me. If you take me to hell, I will go with you, even to hell. Please take me out of here. Which means that the place of brick kiln is worse than hell for him. that he has spent 45 years at the brick kiln.
As a 27-year-old Pakistani Christian who has never been abroad, since the day that I have been born and till the moment that I am standing over here, I and each Christian who calls himself a Pakistani lives under fear, lives under pressure, lives under a constant threat of being, God forbid, alleged to have committed blasphemy. And what has happened today in Sargodha is a realization of that.
It is very sad to explain these incidents. Blasphemy laws has not any definition. If somebody accused you that you commit any blasphemy, what happened here? People take the law into their own hands. Imagine if I am accused of blasphemy. I have not committed any blasphemy, but I am accused of blasphemy, merely accused of blasphemy, simply accused. Somebody say that this person did a blasphemy. Nobody will do any investigation, any verification. I will be presumed guilty. Nazar Nasir was a Christian. He had his shoes factory in Sargodha in Pakistan, and early in the morning he was a businessman. He was working in Dubai. He had earned some money, so he decided, okay, why not? I should come back to my country and start helping my brothers and sisters and start some business. So he started his shoe factory here. Early morning he woke up and he was accused that he burned some pages, the page of Quran. And some of the neighbors who were actually jealous of his business, looking for him to accuse for something, looking at how we can destroy, how we can take this businessman out of this market. Then they came, they started, making slogans. Whoever will disrespect Prophet, we will cut the head of that person. We will not accept, only death for that person. So this kind of slogan, these people started there.
पैगाम दिया जाता है कि इंशाअल्लाह अज़ीज़ 27 अगस्त रोज़ इतवार दिन 10 बजे सरगोदा शहर में भरपूर एहतजाज किया जाएगा। तमाम कारकुनान, जिम्मेदारान, ओहदेदारान, मुहिब्बीन, मुखलिसीन, जुमला उशराकान मुस्तफ़ा अलैहि तहियत व सना इस एहतजाज में शिद्दत करके अपनी गैरत ईमानी का सबूत दें। लब्बैक 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 या रसूल अल्लाह, लब्बैक लब्बैक लब्बैक
And then the news spread. They went to the mosque, and then loudspeaker of the mosque was used to incite people for violence. People gathered 100, 200, 300, 400, even thousands. In a very short notice, people gathered there and they started burning the factory, taking his shoes, factory shoes, everything out, throwing from the factory out his furniture, everything valuable or not valuable, everything, whatever they could, they burned his factory, burned his all the business, and attempt to lynch him alive. They beat him, beat him, beat him, beat him. He was blooded everywhere. Even one of the followers saying, "Look, the police force is here and they are helping us in the lynching. Please come, gather more." This lunatical took the law into their own hands in the presence of the police who were supposed to protect their citizens. So there is a trend, or there are people who believe by killing a blasphemer will bring you to paradise, will give you redeem, will give you salvation. Ambulance came there to take him out from the mob. They were stoning that ambulance with heavy bricks. Ambulance was completely destroyed, and that man died. He died after a few days. He could not survive the suffer and pain and beating that mob did.
फिर उधर से फैक्ट्री की सफाई की है, उसका झाड़ू लगा के उन्होंने सारा गत्ता बुला के वो तो घर चले गए। इसी से जिन्होंने ये सारी शरारत की, उन्होंने कुरान जला के उन्होंने शोर डाल दिया कि कुरान जलाया, तो ये सारा हादसा इस तरह किया।
His wife died after few days due to the trauma, due to the suffer that she saw against her husband. Both could not survive.
आग ही लगी थी, उनका सारा जो था कारखाना जूतियों का तकरीबन 60-70-80 लाख का माल था, वो सब उन्होंने बाहर निकाल कर जला दिया। और वो लोग जो थे हमारे अजीज, वो दहशत की वजह से अपने घर में उन्हें दरवाज़ा बंद कर लिया और वो ईंटें और डोरे मार रहे थे और तरह तरह की जो है वो नारेबाजी हो रही थी। तो वहाँ तो जाना भी बड़ा मुश्किल था, नारेबाजी करते रहे और इस तरह की यही कहते रहे कि काफिरों को मार कर छोड़ेंगे, काफिरों को मार कर छोड़ेंगे।
So that's what happened with Lazarus, Nazir Masih. This is what happened when somebody is accused for blasphemy. So imagine being Christian in Islamic State Pakistan. You are carrying the fear of death sword on your neck all the time, anywhere in Pakistan.
ali naquela casa que a gente teve esse primeiro contato com o caso da Sarah e que o Joseph e a esposa dele trouxeram pra gente, né?
There is another serious persecution, serious crime, serious challenge that Christians are facing in Pakistan, and that is the child marriage, abduction of the girls, kidnapping minor girl, forcefully converting them to Islam.
Sarah Shifa, una chica de 14, 15 años, que ella, bueno, había sido secuestrada por un musulmán y se llevaba ya un tiempo, digamos, secuestrada, y los padres, bueno, obviamente estaban desesperados.
When these new cases happened, somehow people try to give our number to the families whose daughter is abducted, kidnapped, and it happens not only in all over Pakistan. So I received this information from one activist who gave my number to the family. So somehow the father of this girl, Sarah Shifa, received my number from some activist and then called me. He was crying, literally crying, saying, please, he was actually begging help, crying, please help me, Joseph, I have lost the hope. I have no hope. Please help if you can help to bring my girl back to my home. When he requested me, I listened to him, I made a report, I asked what happened. So he shared that my daughter is 14 years old and she has been kidnapped from his home with the help of some gangster lady who is involved in the prostitution, involved to trap other girls in the area. And he shared with me all the story that she might has been sold to prostitution to other province, and please help, my daughter is in a very difficult situation, please help.
ਕਹਿ ਰਿਹਾ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਬੇਟੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, ਦੱਸੋ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸਾਰੀ ਸਟੋਰੀ ਦੱਸੋ।
ਉਹਨਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਮਹੱਲੇ 'ਚ ਆਈ ਇੱਕ ਮੁਸਲਿਮ ਬੁੱਢੀ, ਅਸੀਂ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਕੰਮ ਤੇ ਚਲੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਸਾਂ, ਮੈਂ ਕੰਮ ਤੇ ਟੁਰ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਸਾਂ, ਵੀ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਬੱਚੀ ਕੀ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਦੱਸਦੀ ਕੀ ਕਰਦੀ ਸੀ, ਤੇ ਬੱਚੀ ਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਲੈ ਗਈ ਹੈ। ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੀ ਰਾਤ ਸਾਰਾ ਦਿਨ ਲੱਭਦੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਲੱਭਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ, ਸਾਰੀ ਰਾਤ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦਿਨ ਚੜ ਗਿਆ, ਬੱਚੀ ਉਹਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿੰਦੇ।
ਕੋਈ ਔਰਤ ਹੈ, ਕੌਣ ਹੈ ਔਰਤ?
ਔਰਤ ਮੁਸਲਮਾਨ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨੇ ਮੇਰੀ ਕੁੜੀ ਨੂੰ ਹੀ ਮੁਸਲਮਾਨ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ।
ਥੋੜਾ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਦੱਸੋ ਸਟੋਰੀ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੋਈ ਸੀ?
ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਨਾ ਸ਼ਿਫਾ ਨੂੰ ਮੁਸਲਮਾਨ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ।
ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ, ਕੀ ਸੀ ਜਰਾ ਦੱਸੋ।
ਮਤਲਬ ਚੇਂਜ ਕਰਾਤਾ
ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਇਆ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ, ਘਰੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਗਏ?
ਘਰੋਂ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ, ਮੇਰੇ 10 ਵਜੇ ਨਾ ਮੇਰੀ ਭੈਣ ਦਾ ਘਰ ਸੀ।
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਸੀ ਉਦੋਂ?
ਮੈਂ ਕੰਮ ਤੇ ਗਈ।
And we decided to go to the court and meet her legal attorney, to meet her lawyer.
I will also meet the first time.
Yeah, the lawyer is Christian or
Muslim.
Muslim? Yeah.
So I received some influential people. I received a call from them, and they said actually we want to help in Sarah's case. And father was very much satisfied. They said these are influential people, and then they want to help Joseph. Help meaning to introduce the lawyer, maybe to make some calls, maybe talk to the police. So they told me, Joseph, hire this lawyer. He's a lawyer of the Supreme Court. If somebody is the lawyer of Supreme Court, meaning he has some position, you know. Yes. So this lawyer that we did, he's the lawyer of the Supreme Court of Pakistan. So that's why we hired him. So I said, okay, parents are satisfied. Lawyer is from Supreme Court.
My name is Asif Chima. I'm advocate Supreme Court. And basically this case was referred by Joseph to me because she was abducted by some unknown person. Firstly, when they came to know about the criminals who abducted her, so they filed a criminal case and also referred the name of the accused, because according to the police investigation, some CDRs from their phone data has been recovered. Ultimately, one Najma Bibi, she filed an application before the Honorable Lahore High Court for pre-arrest bail. His bail was granted, but ultimately High Court directed him to produce the abductee before the court.
Sara Shifa should be produced at the court with any cost. So that order give us a little hope to take action further.
This is the Islamic law. So that is what they apply in the courts then. That's why it's very important that the girl needs to convert. If she's not converted and she remains a Christian, national laws would apply, which are saying you need to be 16 or 18.
But she could not be abducted by, could not be produced by the said Najma Bibi. And ultimately Najma Bibi withdrew this petition before the Honorable High Court and filed another petition before the Additional District Judge Sheikh Firozwala, District Sheikhupura. And in which matter is pending, and next date was hearing is 22 according to this gentleman. Any question?
You did the petition?
This is separate petition. This petition has been filed before the Honorable High Court for recovery of the detinue abductee before the court. And the court directed the DPO, District Police Officer Sheikhupura, to recover the detinue abductee before and hand over to the said father of the abductee.
And that's where suddenly we were recently involved in Sara Shifa case.
And we all, as a group, feel like we want to help them. We want to try and see how we can reach out, because this, at the end of the day, also could have been us. We're Christians, we could have faced this persecution. This could have been our daughters that were abducted. Maybe we would have been those parents crying. So we all feel like how the urge and the need to help. Do you have more cases like this?
Yes. I worked here in prosecution department almost as the Deputy Prosecutor General almost 5 to 6 years, and mostly judges know me in the High Court, and I also appear before the court in many cases like habeas petition. And according to this FIR, the maximum the imprisonment for life, the section 355B Pakistan Penal Code, and life imprisonment for life. This is the section 365B. Kidnapping, abducting, or inducing a woman to compel for marriage, etc. And this is the imprisonment for life and fine.
But main trend that we see when we talk about these cases is more like for the sexually lust, that sexually abuse, to use them for this desire. To cover up these heinous crime, they present their marriage certificate and their conversion certificate. So conversion and marriage is the cover-up of the abduction crime that they are committing with our community.
But in this case, she is a minor, and the minor girl under the 18 year, she has no authority and right to contract the marriage. And we will try to recover her at any cost.
District Police officer's name is Bilal Zafar Sheikh. He's saying he's a very nice person, but he is nice for us if we bring the girl back. We spoke with the lawyer, we took the decision of the court, and we went to the high rank of the police officer, Inspector General. minor. She's 14-year-old, and High Court has issued the order for the recovery.
We entered into the police station. For me was horrible. For me was that I'm entering into the hell. It was really serious hell. You normally have the feeling that you are going to the police station, and then you have the hope, oh, something is going wrong, and here's the hope that you will get help. Even with the court order of their own state, everything is miserable. First, that she was a minor and married forcefully, which is a crime in Pakistan. In Pakistan's ordinary laws does not allow to marry. So one crime, she was abducted, and other crime, she is sold to sexual industry, another crime, series of crimes. And then you are entering to the place where you will explain this and have some hope.
Unfortunately, that girl appeared in a court. Okay, so when she went to a court, so she gave a statement that she did not want to come with her parents. She said that she had converted to Islam, and as per her statement, she stated that she is a Muslim, so she has married someone, so she wants to spend her life with that person. So when she's a girl and she can take her own decisions, and she has taken a decision, and then she has gone to the court. Court has given the authority that she can go and spend her life as per her own will and spend her life with her new husband. So I think we are not in a position, we cannot force her to go with her parents.
She's 14? Does that matter, the fact that she's a minor?
Unfortunately, when the court decides something.
Yeah.
फिर लगा लेना ना, जरा पूछ लें जरा.
Okay, tell.
What did you say?
So whatever we are discussing right now is off the record, na? So I'm trying to help you.
No, yes,
yeah.
No, not recording. No, not recording. Not recording.
And unfortunately, when we informed to this police officer for help, what was the response from them? That is extremely horrible, disappointing, and I think nobody should hear that response being Christian. Not even nobody should hear. And that response is a clear evidence also that how Christians are discriminated, persecuted by the state actors. So imagine when we explained them everything, what he said. He said, Inshallah, Sarah will not return to her parents. I translated to my fellow brothers who were foreigner with me that I have explained to the police officer that a girl is abducted and we are here to seek help, and his response is, and I explained again, and we were shocked. What is going on? Are you crazy? What happened? So, that was shocking for me, but that was also very much clear message for me. Very clear message that this is the treatment that Christians are facing in Pakistan. You know what I mean? This is the treatment that people are getting, and that was clear evidence for me in front of my international brothers and sisters, and they heard and they saw with their own eye at the police station. We were shocked. I translated to my international team that this police officer to whom we have come to seek help is saying that Sarah will never return to her parents. By the grace of Allah, Sarah will never return to her parents because she is converted to Islam.
ਫਿਲਹਾਲ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾ ਮਨਾ ਕਰਤਾ ਇਹ ਤੇ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਇਨਸ਼ਾਅੱਲਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਬੇਟੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲੇਗੀ
ਹਾਂ।
ਪੁਲਿਸ ਅਫਸਰ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਉਹਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਕੋਈ ਪਰੇਸ਼ਾਨ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਰੋ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਹੁਣ ਤਾਂ ਬਾਤ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ
ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਮੈਂ ਬੋਲਾਂਗੀ ਤੇ ਇੰਨੇ
ਪਰੇਸ਼ਾਨ ਕਰਨਾ ਹਾਂ ਕਿਆ ਮਾਂ ਬਾਪ ਨੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਮੇਰੀ ਬੇਟੀ ਹੈ ਛੋਟੀ ਹੈ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਮੈਂ ਬੋਲਣ ਲੱਗੀ ਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੂੰ ਬੈਠ ਜਾ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਦਕਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਬੋਲੇ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਭਾਈ ਨੇ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਵੀ ਭੱਜ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੋਲ ਪਈ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
What did I say?
He said I wanted to talk, but my husband told me to deal with it. I think we should not stop here for a long time, otherwise police officer will come and ask us to raise our security.
Okay.
Officially, we should not go walk around without security.
Because we're white.
We are white, yeah. So we should always have security with us.
And normally we have, but today it didn't work out, so...
So the same evening, Luis, what happened? The lawyer sent us some new information. He received a video which shocked us, which completely shocked us.
Start again, please.
This is she?
मेरा नाम शिखा है और मैं अपनी मर्जी से अपने घर से आई हूँ मुझे किसी ने गुमा नहीं किया और ना ही मुझे किसी ने ज़बरदस्ती रखा है मैं
What is telling?
मजबूरियाँ और माँ बाप की ज़बरदस्तियों से फिर मैं घर से निकल गई थी मैं कराची चले गई थी उधर से मैं वापस आई मैंने सुपर शाह से निकाह की है और मैं अपने घर में खुश हूँ और मुझे जो भी बातें हैं सारी झूठी है गुमा किया गया बेचा गया ये कोई झूठी सारी बातें हैं कोई ऐसी वैसी बात नहीं है सो जो भी मेरे बाप ने मेरे दुआ के लिए पर्चा जो भी करवाया मैं वो साथ
But in the court documents
they're using other
the
name,
Muslim name. And see, her clothes are like she's now dressed as a Muslim woman. This is not the clothes of a Christian girl. Also in black, showing that she's more like a traditional Muslim, conservative Muslim. They do this on purpose to narrate the story in a way that they're saying she converted to Islam. This is a conversion case, not a rape and sexual trafficking case.
And she's married.
Amna Bibi. Her name is Amna Bibi.
So they're trying to show the court, like, look, now she's converted. She changed her name. She's dressing like a Muslim.
And then what happened? They made the video and they spread the video so that we received the message that Sarah Shifa is with him, married with her free will, and she's not going to come.
ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਬੱਚੀ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਪਹਿਲਾ ਫਸਲਾ ਕਿ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਸ਼ਾਦੀ ਬੰਦਾ ਕਰ ਲੈਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਸ਼ਾਦੀ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਨਿਕਾਹ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਨਾ ਕਿ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਹਨੀਮੂਨ ਮਨਾਉਣ ਡਿਆ ਹੈ ਅੱਛਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਗੁਜ਼ਾਰਨ ਡਿਆ ਉਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਂ ਇਹ ਜ਼ਬਰਦਸਤੀ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ
ਜ਼ਬਰਦਸਤੀ ਨਿਕਾਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਇਆ ਭਾਈ ਯਕੀਨ
ਕਰੋ ਸਾਡੀ
ਨਹੀਂ ਨਿਕਾਹ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੈਗਾ
So I don't know what to do more. We have to do something. Of course, continue search.
Our video lawyer.
In Sarah's case, we have to continue battle. Up till now, we have been not able to recover her, or we are failed in her recovery yet. But of course, we are not giving up. We have to continue struggle and search for her, and see how we can make that thing rescue possible.
Las niñas pueden ser en cualquier momento secuestradas y convertidas forzosamente al Islam, casadas en matrimonios totalmente ilegales y vendidas incluso a otros países como esclavas sexuales. Había concretamente alrededor de 100 chicas, en su mayoría menores de edad, que habían sido secuestradas por hombres musulmanes.
So, in the case of Roshni, in March I received the request from some friends from UK, and I received the first information report, which is a complaint registered at the police station that their daughter is missing. I saw some documents and I said, how can we help?
उस दिन मतलब शुरू तो मेरा पापा थोड़ा जिहा वैसे ही डर रहा सी कि भाई अज कुछ ना कुछ होएगा, क्योंकि औरत साढ़े घर आई सी, मतलब सुबह के दौरान ही आई सी, तो सिर्फ यही कह रही सी कि 4 बजे मैंने तो नहीं पता राइट टाइम की है, उन्हें सिर्फ यह किया सी रोशनी 4 बजे तक मतलब याद रखी सानू भी। मैं अनदेखा किया सी मेरे, मगर पापा ने थोड़ी जी समझ आई सी, इन्नी ज़्यादा नहीं, क्योंकि साडा इहो जिहा कोई रौला नहीं सी।
कि किसी को कमज़ोर देखते हैं क्यों, किसी पहले देखते हैं बाजार गरीब देखते हैं कि चलो जी है किन्नी कुछ का मालक है, उस हिसाब नाल फिर वो घर दे विच दोस्तां तरह बढ़ते हैं, यानी कि आते हैं हाँ भी असीं तुहाडे भाई हाँ बहन हाँ, तुहानूं कोई चीज़ जरूरत होवे सानूं दसो, इस तरीके तोहफक देंदे ने, बाद विच कहने लग रिश्तेदारी तरह बनाउण लग जांदे ने। जदों वेखदे ने इहदी कोई धी भैन है या कोई अच्छा घर दे विच जी फिर उहदे विच गंदी साजिश शुरू कर देंदे ने।
उस दे दौरान 2:30 बजे के दौरान मेरे ख्याल से फिर मतलब छातों ने मैंने बुलाया से।
छातों?
हाँ, छातों कह रही सी यार गल तो सुन लै मेरी। फिर मैं मतलब गई नहीं सी उस टाइम दे विच, मम्मा कह रही सी घरों बाहर नहीं जाना।
तेरी मम्मा वैसे घर च काम कर रही सी या बाहर सी?
घर सी मेरे मतलब कोल सी। उस तो बाद मतलब मम्मा कह रही सी घर ही रहना, घर का दरवाज़ा नहीं खोलना।
So these people whose house is rented, they have children, having 30 or 50 or 50 euro per month salary, are not able to afford the travel cost to going to again and again to the police station and also carrying their job. That's where we have played a crucial role by paying his travel cost, by paying his legal fees, by paying the lawyer, helping little bit for food to the family.
बाबा काम ते चले गए और फिर मम्मा कपड़े सिलाई करन वास्ते कपड़े देन चली गई। फिर उस बाद मैं घर विच कली सी ते उन्होंने मैं खेल रही सी, वो बाहर चली गई, उन्होंने मैं पकड़न वास्ते बाहर गई ते उस दौरान मतलब मेरे को औरत आई ते कह रही सी कि मेरे नाल ना बाहर चल, ते साडा मतलब मैं उन्हां दे नाल आंदी जांदी सी ते मैं नॉर्मल गल समझी है। ते फिर मैं मतलब हाँ की है। फिर छोटी बहन सी मैं उन्होंने अंदर कर दिता है। हाँ फिर उस तो बाद उन्होंने मतलब गड्डी मंगवाई है मैंने बुलाने वास्ते। फिर उन्होंने मैंने कहा आप जा बैठ जा इत्थे, और फिर मैनू की पता सी क्या करना है। तो इस तो बाद पता नहीं किधर लै गए सी, ते जो मैं लैके चले गए तो उस तो बाद मतलब मैंने कहन कि हुण तू इत्थे ही रहना, हुण तू नहीं जाना।
So in Roshni's case, Roshni's abductor is a very influential. He is rich because his family members, his parents are working in Saudi Arabia. So that's what happened in the case of Roshni, that they bribed police officers according to the parents, and the police officers were not supporting and helping in particularly case of Roshni.
रवैया उन्हों का बेकार जैसी यानी कि जिमें वो साढ़े नहीं दे उन्हों की तरफ चल रहे हैं। उन्होंने कोई ज़्यादा देखो जी एक मुजरम का टाइम से जो मौके पर पकड़ना उन्होंने नहीं किया। 2 बजे की 3 बजे की बच्ची गैब हुई, इंक्वायरी कर रहे हैं रात 9 बजे, जिदे वो कह रहे हैं जी साढ़े कोल नहीं है, और मौके पर उस औरत का भी जिसकी स्टेटमेंट ना लिखाया सीगा और मुंडे का भी लिखाया सी। औरत नूं नहीं लैके मुंडे लैके आ रही, वो वापस उन्होंने छोड़ दिता।
तो उस तो बाद जो मैं लैके गए ने उस तो बाद उन्होंने रात पहले ही उन्होंने कहना शुरू करता कि साढ़े मज़हब में पहले कबूल करना पेगा, वरना तेरे माँ प्यो तेन मार देंगे। और तो यही कह रहे थे साढ़े हज़रत ने 7 साल की कुड़ी ना कीता सी, साढ़े रसूल ने मतलब यह भी कहते सी या तू इस्लाम कबूल कर ला, नहीं तो तेरे माँ प्यो ने मार देंगे, अगर नहीं हो सके तो असीं तेनू मार देंगे। फिर
Police doesn't even want to help. They don't want to investigate, nothing. And because the girls know that, because Christians know that, they don't even bother anymore. Why do you go to a police station when they just scold you? When they give you abuse language? When they make you feel this small? And they don't even bother to investigate. What are you doing? It's not really about Islam, it's about being human. You know, just trying to give a real chance to a person to see if they really want to do of their subduction. This is your job.
So, जैसे क्या बोलता है, मैं स्कूल के लिए रेडी हो रही थी, तो तभी कुछ लोग आए थे जिन्होंने मुझे किडनैप किया था। वो लोग हमारे गांव से थे। उनकी पहले पापा से थोड़ी सी मसला चल रहा था, तो उन्होंने मुझे किडनैप कर लिया। सो पापा को भी वहाँ पे उन्होंने, हाँ, पापा को मारा था, बेहोश भी कर दिया था वहाँ पे। सो मुझे जब वहाँ से किडनैप किया था, तो उसके बाद मुझे तो 3-4 घंटे पता नहीं चला कि मैं कहाँ हूँ। सो जब मुझे होश आई थी, तो मैं किसी जगह पे थी जो मैंने कभी नहीं देखी थी पहले कभी नहीं देखी थी। सो मुझे वो एक वीरान सी जगह पे लेके गए थे, एक कमरे में बंद किया था, तकरीबन काफ़ी 3-4 दिन के लिए मुझे पहले बंद किया था उन्होंने। सो हाँ।
Her name is Rachel Mitchell, a 14 years old girl. When she was abducted, Rachel Mitchell's father was able to get by our contacts, and he contacted us for help. And then he contacted us and he requested if we can provide him legal aid for the cancellation, jactitation of their daughter's marriage, and cancellation of the forced marriage in the court.
तो मैंने उनको कहा कि मैंने अपनी फैमिली के पास वापस आना है। मुझे कहते नहीं, अभी नहीं, आपको छोड़ देंगे लेकिन अभी नहीं। वो मुझे तकरीबन, जब भी मैं कहती थी ना मैंने जाना है वापस, तो वो मुझे मारते थे। और फिर उसके बाद वो मुझे, पहले तो उन्होंने सेक्सुअली सबने मेरे साथ
ज्यादती की।
हाँ, और फिर उसके बाद उन्होंने मतलब वहीं गांव से किसी लड़के के साथ मेरी मैरिज कर दी। और फिर उसके बाद वो भी, उसने भी काफ़ी मुझे मारा और काफ़ी ज़्यादा मतलब बुरा बिहेव रखा मेरे साथ। सो मैंने बोला मुझे वापस भेज दें, मेरे घर वालों को वापस भेज दें। सो आपने जो करना वो तो आपने कर लिया, लेकिन या तो मुझे मार दें या मुझे वापस भेज दें।
How can you, for God's sake on earth, accept this? How can you do that? But this we have seen here.
इसके बाद उन्होंने जब मेरी सी गैंग में से बंदे के साथ शादी हुई, तो पहले मैंने इस्लाम कराया, फिर उसके बाद हाँ ज़बरदस्ती से कराया था। तो उसके बाद उन्होंने मेरा उसके साथ निकाह किया। तो मैं इस चीज़ के लिए मानता था कि मैं अभी भी क्रिश्चियन हूँ, और मुझे मार दें लेकिन ये बात ना करें कि मैंने इस्लाम कबूल किया है, मैंने इस्लाम कबूल नहीं किया। वो इस बात पे मुझे मारते थे और काफ़ी मेरे साथ ज्यादती करी उन्होंने।
So that's where we have to go and rescue these girls and put our lives at risk and go and somehow or any way possible, we have, on any cost, we have to break this wall and hurdle and barrier and bring these girls back by hook or crook or by any force. And that's what we are going to do.
ये उनके तीनों के घर यहाँ पे।
So we have more or less from interest.
El riesgo que se corría era que si nosotros recuperábamos por la fuerza a Sara Yishba, que nosotros seamos acusados de secuestrar a la mujer de este musulmán. Entonces por el momento dejamos ese caso en stand-by y pensamos en trabajar en otros casos.
Office. Punto Bravo. Ok.
Agora a gente tinha uma segunda missão, né? Mais uma missão que era resgatar uma outra família, e agora era uma família muito maior, que era um senhor que já há 45 anos era escravo, e o filho dele já era escravo há não sei quantos anos, o neto dele também, os netos todos, e poxa, 45 anos de dívidas, né?
ਉਹਦਾ ਰਿਐਕਸ਼ਨ ਇਹ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਥੇ ਲੈ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਤੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਕਾਰੋਬਾਰ ਕਿੰਜ ਚੱਲੇਗਾ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਭੱਠਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਅਕਸਰ ਖਾਸ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਕ੍ਰਿਸਚਨ ਹੀ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਜੇ ਕ੍ਰਿਸਚਨ ਚਲੇ ਗਏ ਤੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਕਾਰੋਬਾਰ ਬੰਦ ਹੋ ਜਾਏਗਾ, ਭੱਠਾ ਬੰਦ ਹੋ ਜਾਏਗਾ।
ਕੌਣ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਇਆ?
ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੌਣ ਇੱਥੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਇਆ ਤੇ ਕਿਉਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਏ? ਉਹ ਹਾਲੇ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੇ ਯਾਨੀ ਕਿ ਬਹੁਤ ਗੁੱਸੇ ਨੇ, ਬਹੁਤ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਦਿਲ ਸਖਤ।
Still he is thinking, he is upset.
The mission was, let's make all people free from the one brickle factory, so the factory should be destroyed.
या इनका पास्टर या बाबू जो है ना वो ये पट्ठों पे जो है विजिट नहीं करेंगे, उनका अलाउ जो है उनको आना बंद कर देंगे, हम उनको आने नहीं देंगे।
ਉਹ ਨਾ ਫਿਰ ਨਾ ਇਹ ਪਲਾਨ ਹੋਇਆ, ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਾ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਵੀ ਅਗਰ ਇਹ ਆਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਬੰਦਾ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਏਗਾ, ਅਸੀਂ ਯਾਨੀ ਕਿ ਵਕਤੀ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਾਂਗੇ ਵੀ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਪੈਸੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਜਾਂ ਪਰਸੋਂ ਲੈ ਲਾਂਗੇ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆ ਜਾਣਾ। ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਇਆ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਫਿਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਬੁਰੇ ਪੇਸ਼ ਆਵਾਂਗੇ।
ਪਾਪਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣਾ
फास्ट जितनी तेज चलाया उनको।
ਜੀ ਬੌਸ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਉਹ ਕਮਾਂਡਰ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਾ ਮੈਂ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ, ਥੋੜੀ ਦੇਰ ਉੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਰਵੇ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਉੱਥੇ ਇੰਤਜ਼ਾਰ ਕਰੇ। ਆ ਜਾਓ, ਇੱਥੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਵੈਸੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਅੱਛਾ ਹਾਂਜੀ 4,70,000 समोर ओके 3,000 ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਲ 470 ਹੋ ਜਾਏਗਾ। Have said that we have written one receipt for all.
फैमिली को लेके आओ अपनी।
जल्दी करो, जल्दी 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 बच्चे यहाँ ले लो
हाँ जी, हाँ तो ये हो ना बात।
These kind of rescues, when you do for burial, is always dangerous. Nobody would like to say, a company owner or a factory owner, that you come to my factory suddenly and take all my slaves. Are they going to happy? Are they going to be easy with us? No. But thank God that we have been able, with the help of some experts and with the help of God, that we safely were able to free multiple families and multiple people from the slavery. So around 25 to 30 people we were able to make free. Mr. Pola, who was one of the old man for since 45 years, he has been working there. How many children we made free? His son we made free. So this is a great achievement, and I think a great work that we have done, and we offered to these people. And I have seen the suffer and pain with my own eyes. I have suffered 8 years. When my sister was in prison, sentenced to death, I had to flee. I had to flee from my families, from my friends, from my work, and go abroad to save my life. I was a refugee to Europe, seeking asylum in Western countries. From my childhood, I have seen how people are persecuted at school, how they are forced to read Quran, how they are intimidated, how they are discriminated. So you are not able to eat together because you are unclean, you are infidel, you are kafir. This all I have experienced, being persecuted. I think this is my moral responsibility and duty to help others. God has freed my own sister from death sentence, my brother-in-law from death sentence. He saved my life. Maybe God has listened, heard the prayers of those who are suffering, and making you and me to do something for those who are suffering in the prisons, suffering with hunger. People who are praying, whose daughter have been abducted. And when we get involved, we are receiving more and more requests for help, which make us to continue work and prayer for those who are persecuted. And that's why I think being Christian, being a follower of Jesus Christ, and being Pakistani Christian, it is my moral responsibility and my duty and my work to raise voice and do anything possible for my fellow brothers and sisters who are in pain, who are suffering because of their faith. That's why I'm doing. That's the reason it doesn't let me to rest. I'm unrest. Doesn't let me to sit calmly. If I sit one day, don't do anything, I receive 100 calls, 20 calls. Every day I receive requests which make me to work. And that's where, if we will be able to free one Christian, if we will be able to free one girl, we have saved one life from the hands of the monster, from the hands of the evil. And this is what Jesus is also doing. This is what Jesus did. He went after the one who was lost to recover, to bring her back. And that is what we are called. That is what God is using us. If God is using us, He is helping us, He gives us life, He wants to use us, and we are ready to serve, we are ready to give our body, our soul, and our strength in His way to help His people.
Viva Cristo है, Viva Cristo है, Viva Cristo है, Viva Cristo है।
you